Okay, so today we've got an interesting mix of important journalistic stories, uh, some rap music, if you can call it that, and just some generally varied pieces of interest. We've got some technology, we've got some more technology, we've got some politics, we've got some more technology. I guess you can see where this is going. Today's first video is pretty interesting. It's looking at 3 new robot technologies. The first of which is like their headline piece, and that is a flying motorbike. Unlike most other people who claim to be developing flying motorbikes, they actually have footage of this motorbike flying. Although I'll admit, it's not doing any fancy tricks. I think they really ought to get Redbull onto the job because I'm sure they could make this look way cooler. Anyway, it's just in the prototype stages. Pre-orders are for over $500,000, so you're not going to be seeing any of these on the street near you soon, but they could be coming. Who knows? Maybe they're doing a Tesla-style approach where they start by selling to the super rich and then work down to the plebs like you and I. Now, another question that they don't answer is how legal this thing is to fly, but who cares about the nitty-gritty details? Now, their second piece is about a robot that NASA is developing. It's essentially a drone like you're familiar with, but it's being designed specifically to be sent to Mars to kind of improve their reconnaissance abilities there, let them get some aerial photographs, and probably allow them to explore a much larger range of space than the physical rover itself is capable of covering. And then their third thing, now this one I'm not going to say much about, but I think it's the most exciting. This is a new robot from Boston Dynamics that has a lot of potential to actually be used for factory work. I'm sure that Jeff Bezos and Amazon are looking into this very interestedly. It's bizarre looking. It's kind of like a giant insect. It's got this swinging counterweight, which, you know, on some level probably works kind of like a dinosaur tail. Anyway, check it out. Very exciting. Okay, the second video today is something that, you know, you might find boring, but I found hilarious, profoundly amusing. So someone has used an AI model, you know, like a machine learning algorithm, fed with lots and lots and lots of videos of Jordan Peterson to learn to mimic his speech, right? And so then what they've done is they've given him the lyrics to Eminem's Lose Yourself, and had him read them out, and they fit them in time over the beat. I mean, it's not as hyphy as the original, but it's very funny. The intonation that this thing has for Jordan Peterson's speaking style is spot on. Very, very amusing. Highly recommend you check it out, even if you don't watch the whole video. The third video today is a hilarious new cartoon by some Bitcoin website called Bitcoin and Friends, and the main character is an anthropomorphized version of Bitcoin, and he travels around on adventures with his new friends that he makes, including a really funny characterization of Vitalik Buterin. And essentially, at this point in episode 1, which is all that's out so far, they appear to be seeking out Bitcoin's father, Satoshi Nakamoto. So it's a very amusing story. The way they tell it's quite funny. I know I keep saying that. One trigger warning, there's a surprising number of drawn penises, so don't say I didn't warn you. The fourth video today is actually an analysis by a physicist of what humanity needs to do in order to ascend to a Kardashev Type 1 civilization. So in the video he explains what that means, but in short, the concept is that we as humanity gain control of all the energy of our whole planet, or at least the equivalent thereof. So one thing that really emerged for me from this video is just how important nuclear power is for the future of humanity as an energy source. And this is an idea that I've been encountering more and more recently. I've been learning that a lot of the fears people have about the safety of nuclear power are more based on hysteria than facts. I may actually, in a future video, link to a TED Talk I've seen on this topic, which I found very educational. Anyway, for now, forget about that. Watch this video and enjoy nerding out, fantasizing about humanity becoming the gods of this puny earth. On a more somber note, the last video today is about the Chinese government's efforts to reform its western, I think, Xinjiang province and essentially erase the Uyghur culture. Now, the Uyghurs are a Muslim minority from Western China that have a tradition that is rich and informed by many of the countries that neighbor their region. It goes back centuries. Most of the news these days around this story focus on the mass detention and re-education of these people, but this story actually looks at how the communities are being rebuilt and how the entire landscape that these people grew up in and that was theirs is being redesigned to erase their history and to create a new Chinese nationalist narrative of Western China. It's not the most exciting video. It's a little bit depressing, to be honest, but I think that this is an important story for people to be familiar with. Thanks for tuning in again. I hope that you guys enjoyed some of these videos. I'm really looking for people to be commenting, letting me know what you liked, what you didn't like, what your opinions were. I'm really excited to discuss these things, so drop me a line in the comments. Tell me what you think. I'll tell you what I think. We can have a mad chat about it. Otherwise, subscribe to get more of these and so that other people see these, because I think that I can definitely freshen up a lot more people's YouTube feeds than I am at the moment. Anyway, enough of that. Have a great week.